your personal brand magazine ad. First thing you want to do is, if you haven't done so already, double click on the Graphic Arts 1 server, go under students, your period, under your name. This is chapter 13, or this goes under personal brand, sorry. And you want to make a new folder called advertisements. You should have already done this when you did your aerial billboard, and you want to save it in there. So this time we're going to save our magazine. So for your magazine, you can use images from Schools Clip Art if you'd like. So I'm going to actually go on to Schools Clip Art, and I'm going to look for a photo. So you need to make sure you sign in. So you need to remember wave 1 through 10. And password is green. Don't save it or it kicks you out for some reason. And then I'm going to choose a photo. I'm doing a travel agency, so I'm looking for a beach scene. So I'm going to click on beach, and I'm going to try to find something that I can use in the background that wouldn't be too distracting for the rest of my advertisement. So I'm just going to go through. Your advertisement is going to be more horizontal than vertical, so I'm going to try to find a horizontal picture. One that shows it. Oh, there you go. I like that one. It's got a nice little beach, subtle to be in the background. And you want to download the highest resolution, which is 15.6 meg. And I'm going to do that. It opens it up in another window. And then once it finishes drawing, you can right click on it. See, it's going to take a few minutes to draw because it's a big image. So I'm waiting for it to draw. Do. While you're waiting for that to do, you might want to open up your InDesign because you're going to be using that next. Alright. So once you get it, the picture is drawn, I'm still waiting. If you right click on it, it should say Save Image As. And then you can select the desktop, go under your folder, Graphic Arts 1, under your name, under Personal Brand Advertising. There we go. So now I can actually do Save Image As, now that it's almost loaded. Okay, it's still loading. Took a big image. Alright, so I've downloaded it, and now I'm going to go to InDesign, and I'm going to create new. Now for this magazine ad, it is more of a horizontal ad than vertical. So this is, you still have to do 3 thumbnail sketches. Make sure you do show different principles of design when you do so. Then when you are in this position, you want to make sure you go under picas to inches. It is going to be 7 inches wide by 4.875, which is 7/8 inches high. And you want a 1/4 inch margins. And hit create. You do not need a bleed. There is no bleed for this. So you want to hit create, and it makes your design. I did Apple minus to get it to show up. And then if you're missing your tools, your swatches, everything's still under Windows. So I'm going to go under Windows, and I want to get my tools up. So with the tools, right now, this is just a paste board. Okay, let's see if I can. What you're going to do first is you want to use a rectangle frame tool and go from black line to black line. You're going to make your border. Okay, so usually anytime you make an advertisement, there's always a border or a stroke around it to separate it from other ads. So you can make it whatever color you want. I'm just going to do basic black. But if you want, you can do basic black, make a thicker stroke, and even do a specialty stroke, like a wave, or maybe even a dotted line. It's your call. Mine is just going to be solid. And for me, I'm going to put the image that I downloaded. So I'm going to go File, Place, and then I'm going to find on the Graphic Arts 1 server. I think I saved it in period 4 earlier. Under Projects, Personal Brand, Advertisements. And there's my beach. I took a few of them earlier, and I'm going to choose that beach. Perfect. It's right there. Just what I want. If I think it's too dark, I can go under FX, and I can do transparency, and I can lighten it up a little bit so it's still not too distracting but colorful. But I really think it's not going to be a problem. So next thing I'm going to do, I want to still say grand opening on it, so I'm going to make a box on the top. So I'm going to use my rectangle frame tool again, And I'm going to put it all the way on the top, and I don't know what color I'm going to make it yet, so right now we're just going to go with yellow. That's a nice bright color, grabs people's attention. And then I'm going to make a type tool, type box, and I'm going to put grand opening. I want to make sure that it's readable and legible from far away and close up. I'm trying to find my information that I put in there before. I like a nice bold typeface, so I'm going to use Arial Black for mine. I'm going to center it. On all your controls up here should show you everything, and then I'm going to make it bigger. Now you can use the type tool here to make it bigger. And the design I chose was more of a informal balance. I'm not going to do formal balance. I'm going to make it not symmetrical, it's going to be asymmetrical. So I'm going to put grand opening, and then I'm going to make another picture box over here on the bottom right. Typically when you read, it goes from upper left to bottom right, and I'm going to file place my logo in. So I've already saved my logo in here, and I'm going to place it in there. Now right now it's not to the size, so using the selection tool, if I go up here, right above autofill, it says fill frame proportionally. You want to click that, or fit content proportionally. Now right now it's faded. It doesn't look like it's standing out very much, but I can actually add a nice drop shadow under here, under FX, and it will pop it from the background. You can play around with the size, the distance. I'm fine with it just like that. That way it pops a little bit and looks like it's almost three-dimensional. And then I'm going to make another type box in the middle, and I'm going to put down win or enter to win a free vacation. This is going to be what I'm going to give away. You can also give away swag, or you can give away a service. I mean, that's your call. I'm going to make that bigger, and I'm going to use the eyedropper tool and select my blue here. And that way it's the same color blue as R&R Travel. And I'm going to do that. Actually, I can even be formal balance, informal balance, or if I do this several times, it shows rhythm because it's repeating elements. So I'm going to center that, and then it's a little hard to read on that, so hey, do FX. I can either do a drop shadow or an outer glow. I'm going to try drop shadow again. Don't know if I really like that, so I'm going to turn drop shadow off and go with an outer glow. And when I click on outer glow, I'm going to make it a little bigger and maybe change the color to yellow and see if that works. So you see it just changed it a little bit, and maybe make my opacity bigger and the size smaller. So it is showing. I might have to make it precise. So it kind of jumps a little bit. If I want to jump it a little bit more, I'm going to highlight my type and then add a white stroke around it, and I think that'll help make it pop so you can see it better. You also want to put in your address, phone number, website. You can look at online or make it up because it's going to be downtown Chicago. So 123 Lake Shore Drive, Chicago, Illinois 62447, and phone number 1-800 getaway is what I'm doing for mine. My address, my website is, I want lowercase www.r&rtravel.com. Again, I want to keep the same typeface. Typically when you do a design, you don't want to do two separate typefaces. You want to keep them pretty consistent. So I want to use the same one, which is Arial Black. I'm also going to center that. Now you want your phone number to probably be bigger, and the address is good, and then maybe you want to space it out. So I want to add a little leading between the different letters. So up here where it says 20 for type or point size, underneath it is your leading between, and that lets it give a little space in between. Again, I have it nicely done here. If I hold the Shift and Command or Apple key together, I can scale it larger. Maybe I want to make it blue again, so I'm going to use the eyedropper tool, make it blue. Whoop, not blue background. Got to be on the typeface. Highlight the type. I want the type to be blue. And, oh, look at that. It did a blue border with the blue stroke. So I'm going to switch that and then make my stroke none. But I want to add a drop shadow. So I'm going to click on the box with the selection tool, go under FX, and add my drop shadow. It's a little too far, so I want it a little closer. And then, yeah, I might have to do like a stroke around my type because it's hard to read that way. So maybe I will go back to black. Okay, so I've got my logo. I've got my giveaway. The last thing you need to do is you have to have a disclaimer. So the disclaimer basically says you don't want people to take advantage of you giving away a free vacation. You want to make sure that there's some legality to it, because people can come in every day and say, why don't I get the free vacation? So if you do an asterisk, Shift, number 8, and say, raffle for free vacation is only good on grand opening day, November 1st, 2020. Oh, I forgot to put November 1st on there. So this doesn't have to be 12-point type. The smallest it can be is 8, but I'm going to leave it at 9. I forgot to put down grand opening, the actual date. So I'm going to make this up here. I'm going to scale it down, which is horizontally squishing it. And then I'm going to do Option 8 to make a bullet and put November 1st. I didn't scale it enough, so I'm going to do that. So now my ad is done. I want to spell check it, Apple I. If it looks good, then I want to save as magazine ad with my initials in my folder, desktop, graphic arts 1, under my name. This was under projects, personal brand, advertisements, save. I don't want to save this. I'm going to do number 2 because I've done this before. And then once you have it saved, you are also going to file, export as a PDF, high quality print, again in that folder. And when you're finished with that, you're going to upload it to Schoology. Now, when you do that, you also have to do your design rationale and talk about how you designed it, which in my design, I use color, texture as my elements. I also did my principle of design, could be informal balance or informal balance because it doesn't mirror exactly, it's not symmetrical. But it also had rhythm, which was repeating elements. And for my layout, I did similarity. So everything looks similar and went together well, especially the colors. So that's what you want to do. And my typography was a sans serif typeface, which was big and bold to grab their attention with a strong voice. So that's what I would put down for my rationale. So make sure you turn in your rationale, your project brief, and your thumbnail drawings go into the period box. And that is your project. Thank you.